You mentioned conference before, and I remember listening to one of your videos where you may have interviewed Lisa Mosconi, or you had inserted some video of Lisa speaking.
I did a whole episode on her, on cognition, and she was the featured, so I used a lot of her clips.
And she mentioned that I think she was at a brain cognition related conference, and they asked the scientists to put their hand up to determine what type of dietary pattern they were eating. And it turned out that every single brain scientist there was eating a vegetarian diet, which I thought was really fascinating.
Yeah, she called it a plant-based diet. That was actually a dinner. There was a dinner, and she had several colleagues there. But I attended some brain conferences at MIT and Stanford. They rotated back and forth every 6 months. It mainly focused on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Don't ask me why I was there, but they just like to cross-pollinate, you know, to get ideas, because they've been so unsuccessful with Alzheimer's. You know, it's just no drug has worked, and Parkinson's has been very difficult. They have electrical stimulation and things like that, but both are very tough nuts to crack. So they've reached out to scientists from other fields to see, can we have any ideas here, cross-pollinate a little bit? So I was there, and I saw what they were serving. You know, they always would say brain healthy food. The mind diet is the #1 diet for them, for everybody but David Perlmutter, who's a neurologist who has different ideas. But as far as I could tell from those mainly brain scientists at that conference, 150 of them, there was no controversy about diet. Mediterranean, the mind diet, the DASH diet, vegetarian, vegan, they were all one of those. There was no red meat around or anything like that. There was no ultra-processed food. So, and Lisa, in her book, she's written 2 books, great books. One's called Brain Food, and the other one is called The XX Brain, meaning it's for women, because women are twice as likely to suffer from Alzheimer's, and when the risk really grows is when they have menopause. There's some change in the brain. But in the Brain Food book, she talked about the ketogenic diet, and she said to a neuronutritionist, it is our worst nightmare. So those are pretty strong words. The other was, I have never met, aside from David Perlmutter, I've never met, you know, a low-carb brain scientist.
I had to laugh at Herman Ponce's, in his book Burn, he mentions David Perlmutter.
Yeah, you should interview him. He said, David Perlmutter said in his book Grain Brain, he cites without evidence that we evolved eating 95% fat. Well, it's absurd. I mean, he also said of Dr. Finney, he said he should have hired an anthropologist because Dr. Finney was, you know, likes to reference the Inuit, and they're not like us. We're not descended from the Inuit, and they have a special mutation, so they can't go into ketosis. So
yeah, I think anyone who wants to understand what our ancestors ate and even how important that is, I guess, to thinking about longevity, Burn is the book to read.
Yeah, for consumers, definitely, for sure. He's got another book that he co-authored with another guy on the evolution of man. It's more of an academic book. It's in its 3rd edition, and it's a great book too.